As of 11 p.m. on September 1st, 284 arrests had been made during protests around the Republican National Convention.
I'm in front of the Ramsey County Correction Facility?
Koren Walsh's 16-year-old son was one of them.
And he called to say that they had finished the march and he was meeting some friends. They were going to go over to hear some music play. The next phone call I had from him, he said that the police in riot gear had surrounded the park and they weren't letting anybody in or out of the park. Then I heard from him again, and he said, "Mom, I think I'm going to be arrested." The last I heard from him was at 5 o'clock. Nobody's telling me what's going on. All they're saying is that it's going to take time.
Some of those arrested were brought to the Ramsey County Adult Detention Center on city buses. Those with felony or gross misdemeanor charges would await arraignment at 9 a.m. the next day. The 103 with misdemeanor charges were released as they were booked, a one-by-one process that could take several hours. Just before 9:30 p.m., Jacob Smith, Koren's son, was released from custody.
I was walking down Shepherd, down that park, just going to see what was going on down there and listening to music and stuff. A couple minutes later, we were completely surrounded by cops, and so we were like, okay, now it's time to get out of here. But cops were completely surrounded us and wouldn't let us get past and told us to just stay in the park. So there were cops on like bicycles and on foot and on horseback and cars and everything. All the cops just started moving in and got like shoulder to shoulder. Like to our front was hundreds of cops, full riot gear, and to our back was the river with police boats. We hear a cop pick up a megaphone and he's like, "You are all under arrest, sit down." They came, cuffed us, they brought us to this line. There's this huge line of people. They started searching us, and I saw a person in front of me get their handcuffs cut off, and they were like telling them they could go. And then so the cop turned to me and he was like, "Okay, if we let you go, you're gonna come back here." And I was like, "No." And he's like, "Okay, I need a clipper over here to cut these cuffs off." And so the cop that he asked, that was like pointed to me, was like, "No, that guy's staying." And they brought me over, took my picture, took all my backpack and all my stuff for evidence, and put me in the back of a van for minors. So I got cuffed at around 5:30, blockaded at around 5. They brought me to this place, got here around 7, and told us we were getting misdemeanors for being in a park. And yeah, and then I got out.
Well, now that I know he's okay, I was really worried. You know, you hear all the stories from people that have gotten out or people that have seen what was going on, and nobody knew where he was. Nobody was answering my questions. The police weren't of any help at all here, and I'm just glad he's all right.